Sunday, August 24th. The Organic Psychic. I love Sunday mornings. The last day of peace and quiet before the tourists swarm on Monday. And this one is especially warm and sunny and perfect. Basford and I are about to go swimming in the lake when Ophelia Bayard's red, white, and blue minivan screeches into the driveway, jerking to a stop. "Polly!" Ophelia jumps out. "Oh boy," I mutter. "Who's that?" asks Basford. I don't even know how to answer him. Not because I don't know Ophelia, because she's hard to explain. Ophelia's an organic psychic. Yep, an organic psychic. An organic psychic is someone who can talk to the spirits of the natural world that have not been messed up by people, chemicals, or gossip. That's what Ophelia says anyway. Mom doesn't really believe her, but she enjoys Ophelia anyways. Or she enjoys Ophelia's company. She's super tall, like over 6 feet. When she gets out of the car, she lifts her head, looking like a giant, and gazes around the farm. For a couple of seconds, she closes her eyes and touches the middle of her forehead with her right hand, almost like beginning the sign of the cross. When she opens her eyes, she snaps a smile firmly into place. "This is Basford," I tell her. "Of course it is," she says, as if she's met him 20 times before. "You sweet boy, you did the right thing coming here. You know, just like your father said." Basford raises his eyebrows, but I shrug. Ophelia's always like this. She's the looniest person I know. "Is your mother inside?" she asked me. "I think so." "Good. I brought some new pesticides." I watch her as she grabs a big paper bag out of her van. She holds the bag to her chest, about to walk, but then she stops, closing her eyes. She sniffs. "Now that's a new one," she frowns. "Distress." She sniffs again. "What are you doing?" Perhaps it's the larvae. I'll talk to your mother." "Larvae?" Or they're curlicues. I'm not sure. I'm feeling gray and red and perhaps some brown. Definitely brown. The auras, you know. Yours is wonderful, by the way. Yellow and green and blue. Just superb. Yours is lovely too, young man. She smiles briskly before she walks into the castle through the side door. "How did she know what my dad said?" Basford asks. "She's a good guesser," I tell him truthfully. She once told me that she could predict the future by looking at the shape of a zucchini. Basford's eyes widen. "Can she?" "What do you think?" I ask. We've reached the edge of the lake. She's really nice, so it's okay. She's kind of a kook. I swing my foot in the lake, gauging the temperature. "Ready?" Basford grins and I jump in the water. He cannonballs in after me. Yesterday I showed him all around our property. That is, when he wasn't playing soccer with Freddie or listening to my father explain his rhubarb research. He's so patient, he even listened to Patricia talk about her latest shopping trip. Still, I have to admit, it's pretty fun having someone my age on the farm. "Raisha," Basford says as he takes off for the other shore. "Cheater," I yell, swimming after him. I go as fast as I can, but it's a little weird because with every stroke, I feel a strange tingle in my finger. When I finally reach him, I hold my hands up out of the water, examining them. It must be what my health teacher calls growing pains, or the passage into adolescence. I'll be 12 in December. It doesn't really matter. They don't hurt much. "Watch this," Basford calls as he plunges his head below the waterline. As the minutes pass, I figure out that he's testing out our non-drownable enchanted lake. Just when I'm starting to get bored, Basford swims up, breaking the water's surface. I can't believe it. 4 minutes, and I'm not even dizzy. One of Freddie's friends made it for an hour once, I tell him. Mom said he was an overachiever. Basford smiles widely, looking like a little kid. He dives back under, and I see him examining all the sparkling rocks and colored fish. There's something about our water that magnifies everything. Almost like you're scuba diving with the high-definition goggles. The seaweed on the bottom, the random fish, and the stones in the sand. Everything is as clear as you saw it through a sparkling, clean window. He pops up and splashes me. "Marco," he yells. "Polo," I yell back. We swim and play games for the next 2 hours. Even Patricia joins us for a while, though she just swims boring laps, touching one side of the lake and then the other, and over again. When Beatrice comes outside to tell us that lunch is ready, Basford and I paddle over to to the edge next to Patricia. But before we climb out, my sister scrunches up her face. Did you pee? What? Did you pee in the water? No, I'm insulted. Then why is the water so warm near you? I'm hot-blooded, I say. The water right around me suddenly does feel really warm, but it's positively not because I peed. Yeah, right, says Patricia. I check to make sure Basford isn't listening. It's so typical for Patricia to want to embarrass me. Could you just quit it, I hiss. She holds her nose. Sure, I won't tell anyone that I'm going to scrub myself before dinner. On cue, Basford turns. Patricia smiles sweetly. Never can be too clean, she burbles as she pulls herself out of the lake. I'm positive that Basford is going to ignore me after that, so I'm surprised when we get out of the water and he tells me that Ophelia was right. I didn't think anything would change, but I was wrong. What did you want to change? A sad expression shoots over his face for just a second. Then his face brightens up. It's a long story. Besides, he says as he looks around the farm, this is the kind of place where nothing bad happens, right? I decide not to bring up Patricia, or the mist. Right, I tell him, just as Mom opens up the castle door. It's the best place in the world. After lunch and after Ophelia told us that there really are such things as giant beanstalks, I leave Basford with Freddie so I can go talk to Harry. It's the first time I've seen him since I've been in its turret. He's happy to see me, waving his leaves all around, when I stroll up the row and sit down next to him. As I tell him about Ophelia and everything that happened in the turret with the monster cricket and the ivy and Aunt Edith, Harry flicks his leaves a little, but not enough for me to understand what he's saying. No, really, what do you think? I expect a real answer from him, so I'm annoyed when I see he's doing the bouquet maneuver, pulling his stalks together like he is a bunch of celery. I roll my eyes. I don't know what that means, but he does it again. You don't have anything to say about a cricket so big it could almost drive a car? Harry hesitates, but then repeats the gesture. I stand up. If you're not going to talk to me, I'm leaving, I tell him. I wait for him to say goodbye, or at least say something, and when he doesn't, I spin around and start to stomp off. But as soon as I take a step, I feel guilty. I'm not very good at being mad. I'd much rather be friends with Harry than fight with him. Plus, I want to talk to him about Basford. I want to tell Harry that I may actually have a human friend. So I turn back around, ready to apologize. But what I see stops me in my tracks. Every single plant is spread out flat, stretching out its leaves to touch the edges of their neighboring plants. Hey, what's going on? As soon as my words hit the air, the leaves spring back to position and the field goes back to normal. I step closer to Harry, suddenly panicked. What were you doing? Harry reaches out and touches the tip of his leaf to my cheek. Pay attention. I am paying attention. You're not telling me anything. Harry waits a second and then tosses one of his leaves around, twirling the end of it. This means tomorrow. Tomorrow? I glance around at the other plants. I know they're listening. What's tomorrow? Harry pulls his leaves up in that bouquet position. I glare at him. You're driving me insane, you know that? He doesn't even crack a smile by bending his leaf. When he answers, yes, sorry. For a second, I wonder if Harry's jealous I may have a human friend. He's never acted this strangely before. Is everything okay, I ask him. It takes him a long time to answer, and when he does, I'm surprised. No.